What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to today's late night agenda. Apologies there if you heard a little bit of my Spotify. I thought I had it closed, but I was on a phone call with Connor, finished the phone call, and then boom, straight away. So yeah, that's that demonetised immediately anyway. But how are we? Mbappe on loan for one season, that's not going to happen, unfortunately, mate. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a bit to go through. It's going to be a rather quick one tonight because I'm over on That Football for the West Ham Leicester game kicking off at 8 o'clock. I'll be over there from 7:30, so hope to see you guys over there. How are we all? Is Camavinga a good player? Yes, he is. We will go through everything that you guys want to talk about, but as always, today's stream is being brought to you with thanks to our sponsors, our friends over at manscaped.com. Don't forget the all-new Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped has arrived in Europe. Inside the beautiful package, you receive the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, because, you know, who doesn't like their nuts to smell good, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer Briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. Of course, your 4th generation trimmer also features a 7,000 RPM motor, 4,000k light, a travel lock, an LED light, as I said. And did I mention it's waterproof? Fuck that thing in the bath if you want. Doesn't matter. It's still waterproof. Shave your nuts, take a break, wash yourself a bit, get back to it. It's all good. WFM20 at the discount is our discount, I should say. And get yourselves over to manscaped.com for that 20% discount. It doesn't even matter if the product you're looking at is on sale. Our code will still get you that discount. Right. What do we want to start off with tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Which bit of breaking news do we want to talk about? Because there's breaking news and there's not much breaking news. The big breaking news is really that Divock Origi has completed his move to Lyon. We went through this last night. 9 million quid, somewhere around that is the figure. So we do have that to talk about. And then we've got a couple of other bits and pieces as well. Right, what do we want to talk about? Ismaila Sarr, by the way, another name that's been linked to Liverpool. Have you guys seen that? That Villa put a £45 million in for Ismaila Sarr. That is a lot of money. A lot of money for Sarr. And again, it goes back to what I told you. When we went looking for Sarr, we were quoted 50 million. And this is the time that we signed Diogo Jota. So it'll be interesting to see, because obviously Watford know that Villa have that some of that Jack Grealish money anyway. So yeah, and Origi we want to talk about as well. The thing about Origi is that, look, there's a story that's coming out of the Echo that says moving more players on before next Tuesday evening's deadline is still far more likely than any new faces arriving. That, though, could change if another forward departs, with Divock Origi still attracting interest, if not any official bids yet. So look, we have to wait and see there what happens with Divock. Yes, I did say Origi the other day in a video by mistake, and God heaven forbid I had a slip of the tongue in something and made one mistake, and you guys thankfully were there to remind me of it 500 times. But that's what happens, you know, when you do these things and your brain's all over the place. Of course it was Sadio Mane that scored and not Divock Origi, and yes, but you knew it was that, didn't you? So you just want to make me feel bad. Shaqiri to Lyon confirmed. Yep, that is indeed true. K-Dot. That is done and dusted, so that's another 9.5 million in the coffers, and most importantly, actually, an overseas squad place freed up. So let's wait and see on that one. Any Haaland news? The only thing I seen on Haaland today was actually again coming out of Madrid, and or AS I should say, and they should say that Haaland could actually move in January. Now I don't know the gist of the story because I didn't click into it, but apparently I said Origi instead of Shaqiri now as well. Oh! What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. Let's just pretend everything I said before didn't happen, right? We'll go from there. Yeah, Shaqiri has moved on for 9.5 million, of course. Shaqiri. Wake up, Craig. Shaqiri. I'm on fire, haven't I? I'm Origi on the brain at this moment, ladies and gentlemen. I can't think of anything but Divock Origi. And yeah, I still get it wrong on every occasion, but there you go. That's the joys of doing live stuff, isn't it? Have we received any more than we've spent? Yes, absolutely. It depends which way you look at it, though, because a couple of our deals aren't going to actually be paid, or the money start to be paid till next year. If I remember correctly, I think it was Wilson's was one of them, and maybe, again, don't hold me to this because I'm only just easing my way into the day here. I think the other one might have been Grujić's, I think. There is a couple of deals that the payments don't start till next year, but it doesn't really matter. In accountants' terms, they'll still spread it over the course of 4 or 5 years anyway. what's the Klopp news? I will get to it, I promise you, don't worry. There is a little bit of talk these days around the Klopp extension perhaps, and I don't know if that's true or it isn't true, but there is a little bit of stuff from Klopp himself. He has been speaking, and I will get to that momentarily. Not to poke the bear, but you just made a Origi mistake again and got my hopes up. Love you. Yeah, I'm sorry everyone that's tuning in and heard me say Origi's moved on. I did of course mean to say Shaqiri has moved on to Lyon for 9.5 million, and it looks like if the right moves can be made and if Origi can be moved on, Ian Doyle has been reporting. He said there have been several trackings, there are player profiles that we've been looking at. With so little time remaining in the market, a move is by no means guaranteed, even if Origi does depart. Now, again, I can't help but say what I've always said. I believe that Liverpool will make another signing before the window closes. I have no inside information on who that might be or anything like that. I just feel that with, like I said in the video, I was almost about to say with Origi moving on again, with Shaqiri moving on to Lyon, leaving us this much time, what is there, 8 days to go in the window? I think we get one done. Now, 90 Min have reported that Liverpool have asked about Camavinga, and sources in France have said the PSG are closing in on him for 27.5 million quid. Now, let's rewind all the way back to the start of the transfer window, when everybody was talking about Camavinga before your fucking Fabrizio Romanos and everybody and their grandmother were linking him to United and linking him everywhere. And this is factual. Go back and watch. I told you a lot of things at the start of this transfer window that have come to fruition. I told you that most likely we'd agree a deal with Henderson to see one more year. I told you before most other people about Canade. And I also said to you that as far as I'm aware, Camavinga will end up at PSG. Did I or did I not say that to you folks? Go back and watch it. Now, you know, everybody's free to worship their own ITKs and run around and do what they want, but I don't usually talk unless I have a little bit of something to say. And there's no guarantee that he will end up at PSG, but I've always been under the belief that that's where he's going to end up. He is available, we do know that. They're not going to want to lose him on a free. He's got 1 year remaining on his deal. But what does kind of annoy me is, before I'd linked him to PSG, before I start talking about, you know, the likelihood of them signing him, this was before they went out and signed Messi. This is before they kept hold of Kylian Mbappe. So where the hell are they getting the money from properly to do all of this? Because we know that there was a coin offering or something like that to help fund, I think, the signing on fee for Messi. I went through this in a previous video. I just don't get it. I don't get how they can flagrantly get away with it. Well, I do get it. I can be very fucking honest and tell you exactly how. It's no accident that they didn't join the Super League when it broke, and it's no accident that they then ended up with a place in the UEFA Executive Committee or Board or whatever it is that they've managed to worm their way into there to have a bit more influence. They were good boys. They played by the rules. They didn't jump onto the Super League bandwagon. And with the loosening of FFP, shall we say, because of COVID and stuff, we are where we are. Yeah. I don't know. I just hope that they don't. I just hope that they don't get him, because it's getting to become like fantasy manager at this point. It really is annoying. I have one more bit of stuff on Klopp I want to talk about as well, ladies and gentlemen, before I get over to the chat for a few bits and pieces. Right, where are we? Where's me Kloppo stuff? Right, so Kloppo was talking about the Germany job and links of him to the Germany job, and he said, if it's the end for me at Liverpool in 2024, then I'll have a year off first. Hansi Flick's contract would have to run until 2025 for me to even be considered. Nobody should call me in 2024. Now, I suppose what's got everybody thinking from a Liverpool perspective and what's got us all a little bit excited is the words, if it's the end for me at Liverpool in 2024 from Jurgen Klopp. Not it is the end or my contract only runs until 2024. He said if. Now, I know we're grasping here, we're clutching, but I'll take it. Any potential hope that Jurgen Klopp might stay on past 2024 is beautiful to me. So I wouldn't stop. My phone's just lighting up here now with something. PSG are now considering the sale of Kylian Mbappe as he hasn't signed a new contract with the club. Real Madrid are yet to make an offer for the forward. Only one club has said the past few weeks is an English side, and that's breaking coming out of apparently RMC Sport reporting it as well. So there could be in a move for Mbappe. And look, I've always said to you, Zidane, when he was at Real Madrid, that's where Mbappe looked like he was going to end up. Zidane has still left, but they do have Karim Benzema, who they've been having have little words in the Frenchman's ear about joining him at Real Madrid. Now look, we don't know where they'll get the money from, but it's always looked most likely. So if PSG now are open to losing Mbappe before the window shuts, let's wait and see what happens, because there's only realistically Real Madrid, who I still don't know how they can actually afford them, but we'll go past that. Manchester City, who look like they want Kane as their player. That's really it. I can't really see many other clubs in Europe that could afford them or will make a move at this late notice. I'd love Liverpool to be in talks, but again, in a week, I can't see any way we could get that over the line in a week. So it looks like PSG are considering the sale of Mbappe, whether that's to maybe go out and get Camavinga, maybe that's to balance the books a little bit, I don't know, but it never made sense to me if Mbappe continuously told them that he wasn't going to sign a new deal, that he'd stay on there and see out his contract. It would make no financial sense to PSG to, like, yeah, you're gambling maybe we win the Champions League if we keep him there with Neymar and with Messi, but what if we don't? These now they're guaranteed, let's say, 100 million quid if they sell him, which could offset a large chunk of the Messi money. Right, there was a super chat from Rabadan. Edwards called this morning and he wanted to sign me. Said, Rabadan, I hope you didn't give up easy, mate. You know, I hope you put up a fight, didn't just roll over and let him tickle your belly. What was the Mbappe source? RMC Sport are one of the crowds who've just started reporting it, mate, but I don't tell you who messages into my phone. That's a completely private matter, by the way. You know, I don't give out the few bits and pieces that I do get publicly. Why would I? I'd never get them again. It's Man United because Ollie said he wanted Mbappe. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's definitely gone to Manchester United, Daniel. 100%. That's definitely happening. Righty-o, ladies and gentlemen. So, another little bit of news for you around Liverpool. And I'm going quick today because I am, as I said, having to leg it a quarter past to get over to That's Football for the watch-along of the West Ham-Leicester game. But Liverpool, along with 4 other clubs, or I think at least 4 other clubs in Europe, have joined forces in refusing to release players who may have to quarantine on their return from international duty. The European Club Association, of which the Reds are a member, have agreed the collective position which would see a significant number of players unavailable for next month's latest round of World Cup qualifiers. Egyptian winger Mohamed Salah, Brazilian trio Roberto Firmino, Alisson Becker and Fabinho are 4 Liverpool players who are set to be affected. FIFA earlier this year scrapped a temporary exemption rule allowing clubs to prevent players being released for international duty should travel restrictions be imposed on their mandatory period of quarantine or self-isolation of at least 5 days on their return. But now that the stance of the ECA suggests a major club versus country argument could once again be looming. And again, if you want the full story on that, it is available on the Echo. That's where we took this little segment from. So feel free to go over there for more details on it. But it does look like there is going to be a bit of a club versus country row. And I think that the clubs are right on this occasion. I do understand normally that the countries have to see the players released, but we are in exceptional times. And with the Premier League title race perhaps being so close this season and clubs across Europe struggling financially already, and you know, some of them down to their bare bones with squads and stuff, I think it is fair that European clubs maybe come together and if players are going to have to quarantine coming back from wherever it may be that they're released on international duty and it affects the clubs, I think it's right that it should be examined, and I think it's right that it should be brought forward for a conversation. So that's something that I do fully agree with, by the way. So yeah, I hope that an agreement can be reached there, because it does seem a little bit unfair that, like, clubs understand they have to release players for international duty. You know, we know the international breaks, they know when they're planned, and they've always done it. Now, with the quarantine or potential quarantine around certain arrivals back into the UK or other European countries, I do think it's right that the clubs stand up here a little bit and say, hang on a minute, we're the ones that are going to actually, you know, lose out here and lose out potentially financially quite a lot. So yeah, I think that is right on the clubs, and I hope that they can come to some agreement. Is Klopp getting a new contract? Said Condabong. Look, we don't know. It all stems from Jurgen Klopp saying, if my time at Liverpool ends in 2024. And I think that's where You know, it's always, sometimes it can just be one small word, can't it? Just the word if my contract ends. So yeah. Again though, I do want to say, because I messed up the start of the stream today, I do want to once again remind you that this stream is being brought to you tonight, that all the late night agendas are being brought to you by our friends over at manscaped.com. The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped has arrived in Europe, and it was worth the wait. Inside the brand new Performance Package 4.0, you will find the lawnmower, which is the proper trimmer for your nuts, basically. You'll also get the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, which are really comfortable actually, because I'm a boxer brief person. I don't like boxer shorts, I don't like briefs, I like it in the middle, boxer briefs, and they are nice, and they're a nice silky pair, they're nice. And also a travel bag to hold all of your goodies. The 4th generation trimmer features their cutting edge ceramic technology, and grooming accidents are minimalised or non-existent thanks to that advanced skin safe technology. Has a 7,000 RPM motor, a travel lock, an LED light, and you can even use it in the bath or so, because it's waterproof. Did I mention it's waterproof? It's waterproof just like your balls. So there you go, lads, and your balls will thank you later. WFM20 is our discount code. Use it at checkout, even if it's on special offer or sale. It won't matter, and they ship worldwide. Right, whew, I'm tired. That was a mouthful. That's what she said. Whoop, whoop, whoop. If only, I wish. Basuma has been spotted in Liverpool. In Liverpool, has he? We're at that point in the transfer window now. I seen him in Sainsbury's. I spotted him earlier on in Netto round the corner. Seen him. He was in there doing the big shop. The big shop. The weekly shop he was doing as well. He wasn't just popping in there for a few groceries. He had the full trolley. It was the big shop. I love that this point of the transfer window where people are spotted and we're following Mercedes Vitos, tracking aeroplanes and all of this kind of stuff. I had to buy 2, Craig. Being Irish, I needed one for each bollock. Well, look, Crick, I do understand where you're coming from, because I've pointed this out before. Most other males in the world don't suffer from bins like the rest of us here in the Emerald Isle. And for people who aren't aware what bins is or what Crick might be talking about, one of the afflictions that we have as Irish men is that we suffer from bins, which is big Irish nut syndrome. So the extended motor and the extended battery life of the Lawnmower 4.0 does help if you do suffer the affliction that us Irish men do and have big Irish nut syndrome. It is something that, you know, I've found Manscaped has always been very good with, that extended motor, that you can get it all done in one go. So I understand your problem, but Crick, with the 4.0, you'd be grand, mate. Right, surely we won't pay both Salah and Mbappe the big bucks they want. Look, I don't remember at any point in this stream saying we're signing Mbappe, by the way. So let's just put that out there. All I said is that news has broken that PSG are now considering the sale of Mbappe because he won't agree a new deal at the club. It's been reported by various sources that Real Madrid are yet to make an official offer, and only one club in the last few weeks has, and it's an English club. We all hope and pray, have the rosary beads out, or whatever religion whatever religion it is that you across the world pray to, or whatever God you pray to, that it is Kylian Mbappe. It would be brilliant, but I'm not going to hold my breath and say that, you know, I think we're signing Kylian Mbappe. But I do think that, now make sure you get the name right, Craig, I do think that with the sale of Shaqiri to Lyon for 9.5 million quid, and as early as it was, and the fact that we even seem to take a hit from the 13 million quid that we paid for Shaqiri from Stoke when he came in there, I do think that every single time now I'm saying Shaqiri, my brain saying don't say Origi, don't say Origi, don't say Origi, and it wants me to say Origi then, of course. Do you ever get one of those scenarios where you're about to do something, whether you be in school or at work or wherever, and you've got to make a speech or something, and you've got something going on in your head and you're like, don't say this. Whatever you do, just don't say this word. Do not say this word. Practice it, go over. Do not say it. And of course you say it. Klopp said he creates great players, but we are the fans, we want big money signings. Look, Liverpool have always been a club that, yes, we have spent some money, of course, but we are a club that do like to, as Klopp said, create superstars, and we've done it many times over the years. And whether that's a mixture of great coaching, obviously the Anfield crowd lifting players up and carrying them as well along the way, it is true. But there does come times where certain opportunities present themselves and it is worth rolling the dice. And I would like to see us roll the dice, of course, on Kylian Mbappe, but do I think it will happen? No, I don't. But I do think we will make a signing before the window closes. Surely PSG will take Origi in a swap deal, said Rabadan. And he wrote Origi. He did say Origi. I can't see why not, mate. They had Moise Kean there at one point. And a few other forwards that were rather questionable. So yeah, let's throw Origi in as part of a... What that should knock. If they want 100 million for Mbappe, then... I mean, we'll give them another 5 on top of Origi. Just, and I'd say that's being generous, because Origi has to be worth 95 million, if anybody's money. Craig, will there be a late night agenda transfer deadline day stream? Yes and no. I don't know, depending on how likely it is that we're going to sign somebody, whether it'll be the whole day here, part of the day here, and part of the day on That's Football. I'll have to work between the two probably, so that'll be a question that I answer a little bit closer. I know it is coming close, but it'll be a question I'll have to sit down with Mark and figure out what way we want to do it between That's Football and on here and stuff. So yes, of course I will be live on that day. And by the way, Thursday, really, really busy day. Is it Thursday? Let me just check the calendar. I think it's Thursday. 1 second. Again, just so many things going on. You wouldn't believe how hectic things are for me at the minute, folks, and I'm not complaining. Right, where are we? Where is he? Sorry. 1 second, folks. Right, Thursday. So Jack Gill is going to be live with you guys on Thursday for the Champions League draw. He's going to be on here from 5 p.m. live for to see who Liverpool will face in the group stages of this season's Champions League. So I just had to double check the calendar there to make sure that it was Jack that was doing it. So yeah, we've got loads of stuff coming up this week. I will, of course, be around on Thursday as well. I have a really busy day on Thursday. I'm doing a University of Limerick media panel in the morning. I've got to record my Chelsea predictions. Then Jack will be live at the Champions League draw. There'll be a late night agenda from 6:30 on Thursday, and then I'll be over on That's Football for the Spurs. What's that shitty competition called? The Europa Conference League game as well. Whoo! Get your breath, Craig. Did you talk about Camavinga? Yeah, he is going to be available, it looks like, but I still stand over what I said before. I think it most likely that PSG sign Camavinga, particularly if they're going to be willing to sell Kylian Mbappe. I think that will help justify the money for Camavinga. And as we spoke about earlier on, it looks like they want about 27.5 million for Camavinga, even with only 1 year left on his contract now. That seems a lot to me for an 18-year-old, even an 18-year-old as highly touted and as promising as Camavinga is. Because of the contract situation, I think I'm not saying they'll get it. They might, PSG or whoever it might be, because there are a lot of clubs interested in Camavinga. United have looked at him, Liverpool have looked at him, PSG have looked at him. All the top clubs in Europe have and will be looking at Camavinga. So let's just keep our eyes peeled and let's see what happens between now and the end of the transfer window at 11 p.m. on the 31st of August, because it could be a busy one. And I do think with Shaqiri now moving on, an overseas squad place freed up, albeit we are still technically full. If we move Loris Karius on, that does free up a space. Now, a lot of the media are reporting that we need to move Origi on. We need to move Origi on in order to actually do business. In an ideal world, I think yes, Jurgen Klopp wouldn't like to carry any baggage. And by baggage, I mean, let's say we go out and sign an attacking player. The likelihood is Origi has then dropped further than the pecking order, and Klopp wouldn't deem it fair on the squad and himself just to have a player there for the sake of it. That's before, of course, we talk about Origi's wages and stuff like that as well. So there is interest in him. There has been no concrete bids. West Ham, I think Brighton and a couple of other clubs, and a few clubs around Germany as well, have been, I think making their interest in Origi maybe be known, but to a lesser extent, no firm offer, no concrete offer has come into Liverpool yet. Will that happen before the end of the window? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But personally, I don't think that I think it's a too easy get out of jail free card for the club to say, oh well, we couldn't move Origi on, therefore we didn't make a signing. I think we've done everything else that they've wanted to do. We've moved on all the fringe players, all the young players who need to be loaned out have been loaned out, and anybody who hasn't got a future at the club seems to have been moved on. So for me, I just hope and think. I think we'll get one in. I do. I really, really do think we'll see one in the door. I don't know who, though. I'm trying to find that out. Can't wait to see Ben Woodburn up in Edinburgh. Yep, he has gone up on loan. Can't rely on Elliott and Gordon, that's just stupid. To be fair, what James Pearce said there is, I don't think he meant that we're going to rely on Cade Gordon to come in and fill the squad place. I mean, look, you can make an easy connection from Shaqiri's squad place to being taken by RV Elliott. We can understand that. That's straightforward. But Cade Gordon, I think what James Pearce said is that there will be some domestic cup games there for him as well. But I think that should be on top of course, his time with the under-23. So, yeah, I wouldn't want Cade Gordon to be used as an excuse. But we also do have to remember that there needs to be a pathway through for these guys. So, let's just wait and see. But I do agree with you all. A bit of experience is needed now. And we have an opportunity to bring somebody in to help us in the attacking sense. Because we have moved on about 45 to 50 million quid's worth of talent in this window. And you might say to me, Craig, we signed Canade, which is great. Yes, we did. But I still will stand over what I said. In my mind, that's covering up for last year's mess. Hey Craig, keep doing what you're doing. Love the channel from a United fan. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hang on for about 5 more minutes before I head off. So please do keep your questions coming in. Hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the video as well. And again, apologies for the slip of the tongue at the start of the stream and when I did my little video last night where, of course, I said Origi. In one case, I meant to say Mane. In the other case, I meant to say Shaqiri. So I do apologise on that. I was so excited about Saul, or that German guy. Again, the German guy, I gather you're talking about Neuhaus. The agreement was always that he wanted 1 more year with Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, whether after that year he goes where we all think he will, which is Bayern Munich, or Liverpool push for him next year, that remains to be seen. Saul is an interesting one because now there's talk that a couple of clubs are being offered him on loan. So either he has to lower his wage demands drastically or something very strange has gone on here because they've brought in a player in Rodrigo de Paul to Atleti who we all thought would see Saul leave, but yeah, nobody yet has come through with a concrete offer, and whether this is a game of poker and somebody's waiting to the last minute to see if they can maybe catch Atleti with their pants down a bit and save a few quid, we'll have to wait and see. Hey Craig, just had the lasagna of my life. You said live, but I fixed it for you. Divine, I don't like lasagna, Jens, so I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate, but it isn't my cup of tea, sir, but always lovely to see you in the chat. Any news on Origi? No concrete news, no. Despite all the Origi drops I've put into the stream and all, do you know what I mean? Mentioned them with the wrong name about 5 times, but there's no concrete offer on the table for Origi. There are clubs that are interested in him, both in the UK, in England, and of course in Europe, and it remains to be seen if somebody will come in and push a number across the table to Michael Edwards and say, how does that fit, sir? We do know that Aston Villa have launched a 45 million quid bid for Sarr. That was sent to my attention earlier on as well. So, Villa are out there doing bits as well, spending that Grealish money. They've already brought in Leon Bailey. They've brought in who's the other? Buendia, and they've brought in Danny Ings, of course, as well. And now Sarr on top of that. So they're not messing about. Nat Phillips, yeah, that is an interesting one as well, Colin. Nat Phillips has gone a little bit quiet. At one point we heard there was a queue of clubs. There were 3 or 4 Premier League clubs that were willing to offer 10 to 12 million pound for Nat Phillips. But you look at what business has been done. Brighton have obviously lost Ben White. Will they come in and put their money down on the table? There was talk of, I think maybe West Ham, and I can't remember, maybe Southampton as well, having lost Vestergaard. They could perhaps come back in for Phillips. So we'll have to wait and see. I do expect it to be a busy last week though. A lot of clubs are leaving stuff late. Because, again, I think it's because of this financial brinksmanship that's going on. Players, not wanting, our clubs, not wanting to show their cards too early. Villa are having a good transfer window, got in some good buys. Yes, they didn't make the mistake a lot of clubs make by selling their superstar and then replacing it with average players. They've done well. They've brought in Danny Ings, who's hit the ground running. They've brought in Emiliano Buendia, who's a fine footballer. And they brought in Leon Bailey, who has a lot of potential as well. And now they've gone after Ismaila Sarr from Watford. So, yeah, they're not messing about. Craig, will John grow a pair of balls? By the looks of it there, Bailey, mate, he doesn't need the Manscaped products at this moment in time. A Vajazzle perhaps. I don't know. I hope he does grow a pair and actually back the manager because it seems that we're a bit too risk averse yet again. But look, hey, we'll wait and see what happens. We can easily loan out Origi. He can't be the reason for not signing new players. It depends on what way you look at loaning him out, though. Remember, he signed a new contract not that long ago. So if we loan him out, are we covering some of his wages? We then, of course, don't have that transfer fee to add towards whatever player we're bringing in. And are we going to be stuck with the same headache next summer? So, again, I don't want to say yes 100% to one thing or no 100% to the other. It is going to be a game of brinksmanship. But I've been right on a lot of stuff. I've held back on a lot of stuff. And I don't want to put my big Irish nuts on the table here. But if you were to ask me wholeheartedly for a percentage, I would say I am... Let me be fair about this. I'm about 70% sure we'll get a sign-in through the door by the time the transfer window closes. That's the vibe I'm getting. I don't have a name for you. I really don't. I'm not holding anything back here. I haven't been saying stuff. Just from the people I've spoken to, I think all the other boxes are starting to be ticked. The Hendo thing is all but sorted. We're just waiting for an announcement there. Salah, yes, there is a bit of a time crisis on it, but not really. You know, the vibes are good apparently coming out of those early conversations, and I think that'll get done. But with the big one we actually wanted two, didn't we? We wanted a midfielder and we wanted an attacking player, but I think at this point we'd settle for one of the two to be filled. So let's just wait and see what happens. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to lie to you as always, but I'm just going to tell you what I've said all along. I think Camavinga will end up at PSG. That's been what I've always been told. If Liverpool can pull it off, brilliant. Any club that pulls off the signing of Camavinga is getting a fine player. The Mbappe one, I will keep an eye on, of course, and I'll be back tomorrow. But actually, will I be here tomorrow? Tomorrow is Tuesday. Yes, I will be here tomorrow. I've just got to keep going because I'm in Cork on Wednesday, so loads to go. Better leg it, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to be on That's Football in 10 minutes to start the watch-along of the West Ham-Leicester game. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Please do hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts on anything I've spoken about today as well. I'll be back tomorrow. Jack Gill will be here as well with the Champions League draw during the week, so keep an eye out for that one, and we've lots more content coming up. Don't forget to check out Craig Station, the Anfield Agenda, TikTok, Instagram and Twitter accounts as well. Lots of love to all of you. I do apologise tonight was a short one, but I'm a busy boy these days and I've got to leg it straight across now and do that. I'm looking forward to watching it. It should be a cracking game. West Ham against Leicester. So firstly, again, thank you for everything, folks. I know at times I'm in and out, I'm busy and I'm all over the shop, but I appreciate the shit out of you. Without you guys, I wouldn't be on the path to where we are. So thank you for everything. You guys mean the world to me. Please do hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. You'll get to see a lot more of Jack this season as well, which is great. And have yourselves an absolutely wonderful evening. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. Take care. Lots of love. Up the Reds.